Today, for this lesson, let's learn how to color change. So I started with doing 10 chains and then 9 single crochets all the way across. And let's say I want to change to a different color at the top. Let's say I wanted to go with purple. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to chain 1, right? Set it down. I'll take my scissors and cut the yarn because let's say I don't need to use the blue anymore. I just want the purple now. I'm gonna pull this hook upwards, make a knot, so that it's done. Let's now move on to the purple. To insert the purple into the next row, we're first gonna need to start with a slip knot. So using the purple, we're just gonna make a slip knot. At this point, you should know how to make one now, but if not, then please go back to lesson 1 so that you can have a review on how to make it. So you can set the slip knot aside, but you just can't lose it. So we need to start this way. Because normally if you start the next row, you're gonna flip this anyway. So we're gonna act like we're starting the next row. I insert my hook through the first stitch, right? I insert my hook through the slip knot, tighten it a little bit, and then I'm gonna pull the slip knot through the first stitch, like so. There's gonna be a lot of tails, so make sure you stay organized. And then I'm gonna do a chain 1. That's actually it. That's how you change colors after you've made one row and then you want to switch to a different one in the next row. Okay, so like normal, you can now just do your 9 single crochets. So after that's done, this is how your row should look like. Now, what if actually you didn't want to cut the blue because you're going to do blue on the next? Let's say you're doing an alternate blue, purple. You don't actually have to cut the yarn if that's what you're doing. So let me demonstrate how to do that. So here we have our blue row again. And let's say you're going to use the blue after the purple row. Let me just set this aside for a second. And let's make a slip knot with our purple yarn. Let's set aside the purple slip knot. For our blue row, instead of making a chain 1, we're actually going to make the chain 1 with our purple already. So we take this, insert our hook, adjust, and pull it through this loop. Now you can flip your work around and work along this row. But because you want to use your blue yarn again, we're going to be crocheting with this blue yarn behind this row. Okay, let me demonstrate. So take the long blue tail, and we're just gonna hold it like this. So we're gonna make our first single crochet. We insert like normal here, but we're also gonna go underneath this tail. Okay, this is on top of the hook. And then we're gonna complete our single crochet. Then on the rest of the rows, we're gonna just repeat the entire thing where you insert and make sure that the tail is above your hook. In this way, we are carrying this tail all throughout this row, so you could use it again in the next row. So I've just finished my purple row. As you can see, I carried this over all the way to the end. And if you go look at the back, it's actually really clean here because it's hidden under these purple stitches. Now, once you want to start using your blue row now for the next, we're just going to drop this purple and grab the blue, and then you're going to chain 1 and then flip your work. It's time for this purple to be the one to get carried all the way across. So you're just kind of alternating what you are crocheting into, what you're carrying across, what you're using for the chain 1, so that you don't lose your tail and you don't have to like attach a new color over and over again for every row. So as you can see, I am now hiding the purple yarn. And yeah, you're just gonna have to repeat this over and over again as many times as you need. And it's nice because you can use both sides because both sides are clean. Now let's say you're working on a project and in the middle of a row, you want to make the rest of it purple. I'm gonna teach you how to do that. First, you're gonna need to get the color that you want to change into and make a slip knot, and then you're going to set it aside. You're going to make a single crochet but don't complete the single crochet. Here's what I mean. You insert your hook, yarn over, and pull it back out and stop right here. Then you're going to take the color that you want, which is already in a slip knot, and then you're going to insert your hook through that slip knot and then adjust the size accordingly. Then, instead of yarning over and finishing this single crochet, you're just going to use the purple to finish it. So you just use it to go all the way through the 2 loops. Okay, now that it's on, this is the one you'll be working with because you can now drop this blue one. So for the next few single crochets, you can complete them using the purple. As you can see, the color change is seamless. It's very clean. Now, what if you're working with your yarn and you find out that you're actually running out? You're going to need to join a new yarn in order to complete this project, right? One thing that you can do, which is actually the easiest for me, it's the most simple, not necessarily the cleanest, but this is what I do all the time, is I just take the new yarn and the yarn that you're working with right now, and I just make a knot. So I take this and then I do this type. I don't even know what this type of knot is called, but it's where you take both and then you just do this. And now you can actually just continue working, and you might feel this bump, right? This is a bump that you could sew in, or if you only need the front part and the back part is hidden, no one's actually gonna know that you changed yarn. So as you can see from the front, it looks very clean, but from the back you do see this. What I normally do is I just sew this into the rest, and it's usually fine. But let's say you don't want to do that and you want to make it cleaner. I'll show you the other way. The steps are basically the same as if you were color changing. So I'm going to just make a slip knot with the new yarn and set it aside. I'm going to do what I did with the color change, where I do a single crochet but I don't complete it, like so. I then take the new one, adjust, and pull it through the last two. And then if I don't want this tail here, I can just do the thing where I crochet with it. I actually have two tails. Crochet with it and carry it over for a few stitches until I can cut it and it'll be invisible. So let's say I'm done my project and I look from the front, invisible. Look from the back, also invisible. I can now just cut this and it'll be seamless. So yeah, that's it for the color changing and the joining tutorial. I'm sure there are so many different ways to do these, but I'm just showing you the ones that have worked for me and the ones that I use regularly. So we're actually getting to the end of our course. We only have one lesson left, and it is how to read a crochet pattern. This is actually very useful because you can apply it to literally any pattern you'll come across in the future. You'll be able to read patterns very well and follow it very seamlessly. And because the first 7 lessons were about like the basic stitches and techniques, then going into lesson 8 will be so much easier because you already have the foundational knowledge in order to read all of these abbreviations. So yeah, see you guys in the next video, and make sure to subscribe to my newsletter if you want early access to my next videos and some more cool perks.